It's the end of another year, and so you're naturally thinking about what comes next for you. The one thing you know is that you aren't happy in your career, and you know it isn't just your job that needs to change. You know it's the whole enchilada, the whole career. And you probably have known this for a while, but timing, the thought of going back to school, and the idea of having to start over from scratch probably has stopped you. And it's all stopped you because, in all likelihood, you're over complicating the how. A career change is, to you, is a multi-year plan, and that's just too overwhelming. But what if I were to tell you that a career change can be done in 6 months? It can be a 6-month plan. And I want you to think about that, because that could be you by summer, completely ensconced in a brand new career. And it is possible because I've simplified the how for you, which is why I want you to stay tuned to this week's training, the last of the year, because I'm going to walk you through the 5-step process to switching careers. Stay tuned. Well, hello there. I'm Sarah Curto, your neighborhood career coach, and I'm here to inspire and guide you to intentionally focus on what matters most to you when it comes to your work, your impact, and your work life. Now, I drop a new training here every week, teaching you the tools of the trade, giving you a behind the scenes peek what's going on the inside the rooms of those hiring conversations, because I've been coaching for 5 years and I spent 15 years hiring top talent in those roles, leading and having those conversations. And I want to give it all to you because I want you to find long-lasting career fulfillment and happiness doing work you love. So I invite you to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a training. I am so excited about all the trainings that have happened this year already and how many people have had an opportunity to watch them. And I am very excited for all of the content that I have planned for next year. So hit subscribe so you don't miss it, especially since it's December 19th and it is my last video of the year. I won't be dropping another one until the 2nd. So we can all enjoy our holidays. Okay, so me. I spent 15 years doing work that I did not like. And I knew from day one that it wasn't for me, like literally day one. But still, I stayed. There were multiple times that I tried to start the process of switching careers. And while thoughts of I shouldn't waste my HR education, maybe I just need a new boss or more flexibility kept me stuck, it was really the fact that it all seemed so complicated. Plus, I didn't want to have to go back to school. And if you're like, yep, this sounds like me, obviously you have at least me in your corner. But honestly, over the last 5 years of coaching hundreds of clients, I know just how prevalent this sort of feeling is, that thinking it's so hard, because we think it's so hard that it won't work because we once sent a resume into a new career we wanted and didn't get an interview. So obviously that's not it. I know. We also think it'll take forever, that multi-year plan that we tend to think it is, where we have to go to school. Now I have the data, 5 years, hundreds of clients. It won't take forever. With this process, it'll take you an average of 6 months. So what is this magical process I'm talking about? You're like, just tell me, let me tell you. Okay. The first is you need to discover your purpose. So you need to know what you actually want to do in your next career, not just some guesswork or going back to an idea you had a few years ago. Now, I am going to ensure that we have linked 2 videos that will help discover your purpose. This is like your lifelong purpose, and the 3 steps to picking a new career that kind of goes alongside that. Because otherwise, this would be an hour-long training video. We don't have time for that. Go watch those. Step number 2 is designing your brand. Because oftentimes we kind of think that once we come up with a career idea, it's almost done. It's just going to happen, which leads us to it not happening. Or because we've assumed we have to go to school, we're immediately looking for education, which in my experience actually rarely happens. Only in a few instances have clients had to go back to school in order to progress. So I don't want you to be making that assumption. So the second step is actually setting you up to get that job because you're designing your brand. Now, this is where you know what you want. You need to have a resume and cover letter and LinkedIn profile that helps you get interviews. And now you're going to feel a desire to just make some slight changes to your old or current resume, or to write a functional resume, you know, those like skills heavy resume. Don't. I don't want you to do that because number 1, functional resumes is recruiters don't read. And number 2, updating or tweaking your current and old resume for your current career that you do not like, that's not going to go. It's not going to go over it. It's not going to get you interviews. So what I really want you to do is focus on highlighting your transferable skills in your work. So these are the skills that you are currently have and use that you will take with you to your next career. Step number 3 is increase your visibility. And this is really where the magic begins to happen with some difficult news. Career changes don't happen on job boards. They just don't. And we often use, that's part of the reason why career changes take so long, is because we spend so long sending out resumes and not getting them, and then getting interviews or getting the jobs and then feeling disappointed. And so pausing the career change and then picking it back up. The thing is when you send in an application, there's on average 250 people who have also applied to that position. And in all likelihood, the recruiter is going to be looking for the easy hire. So the easy hire is someone who has done this job before. I'm pretty sure out of 250 resumes, 100 resumes, even 50 resumes, that there is going to be 3 to 5 people who have done the job before, which means you won't be considered. You will only be considered if they literally have stated, the hiring manager to the recruiter, we want someone completely outside of the box, which means you have to add in some level of networking. Now, if you want to yell at me through this screen because you really don't want to network, I understand, because we often have this definition, this narrow definition of what networking is. It is much more than that. So I want you to go watch this video on how to create a high impact networking strategy that works for you. So this is where it is not a cookie cutter like networking strategy. It's where you get to choose the bits and pieces of networking that you want to do. So you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You get to do it the way you want to do it. And that video is going to walk you through how. And then step number 4 is showcasing your value. Now, it feels tough to interview for a job when we don't think of what we have as real life experience in it. We don't really know what stories to use, and we often believe that nothing is going to work. This is why even when we happen to get an interview from our resume for a career change, why we often don't get the job, because we believe there's this disconnect. We believe that we are a second best candidate for the job instead of the best candidate for the job. And I know that when you think of your experience, the career you've had as making you the best candidate, It means all of the stories that you have had, all of the accomplishments that you've had, the difference you've made, they will work. Showcasing your value by highlighting your potential. So there was a study done a few years ago on this concept of potential in the interview. And what they did is they had hiring managers interview people who had marked every single piece of a job posting. And then they had them interview some like people who only did about half of that, but who were able to show potential that they could do the rest. And then they asked the hiring managers to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 for qualifications, and then on a scale of 1 to 10 for excitement level. And while the people who had done the job scored higher on qualifications, they scored lower on excitement. Hiring managers were really excited to work with people to bring onto their team people who had that potential. Because a lot of great managers want to coach, they want to mentor. So they get excited about someone who can learn the job, and then they get to be the one to teach them. So you can showcase your value by also showcasing your potential to do the job you've never done before. It's an amazing way for you to begin thinking about all of the stuff you bring. Now, step number 5, the last step, is making your impact. Now, this actually starts with the offer, finally, the offer. But now it's time to negotiate. When we are going through a career change, we often think we're going to have to take a massive salary cut, and you may not have to. It just actually happens a lot less than you think. Most people are able to maintain their salary, or it's an insignificant decrease. Some have increased, so you do not have to do that, which means you do not have to be grateful that they're giving you the offer, that they're giving you a chance. You can negotiate. So here's a video to help you negotiate that offer so that you're going in with as close to the salary as you're making now, with the potential to earn more and the opportunity to begin making the impact that you want to be making. And that's it. So to recap the 5 steps, the first step is to discover your purpose. The second step is to design your brand. Step number 3, increase your visibility. Step number 4, showcase your value. Step number 5, make your impact. And if you notice those steps, it is not, like I said, just about discovering what it is you want for your next career. It's you finding it. I want to take you through the entire process. Now, the best way to ensure that it only takes you 6 months is to have support through it all, which is why I think you should join us in the Career Love Academy. That is my group coaching monthly membership program where there is a whole slew of training videos guiding you through this process, plus what people really come for, the weekly coaching. You come to a coaching call, I coach you, and I help remove any and all obstacles that get in your way and accelerate your success. Never mind the fact that we're all there as a community holding your hand every step of the way. I want you to imagine it's summer. So if you live where I live near Toronto and it's cold, it's like warm out and you're happy and you're making an impact that you finally want to be making, loving your work, excited to be waking up every day, actually excited to work over the summer, not feeling like you're missing out on anything. And this will all happen in only 6 months for just $100 a month, Canadian, including taxes. I want you to go to www.sarahcurto.ca/CYLA. That's www.SARA, no H, curto.ca/CYLA, or the link below to join. I'll see you in there. For those of you who are celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas. For anyone else who's going to celebrate any holidays, it's Happy Hanukkah right now. I want you to enjoy the holiday season, whether you're going to be celebrating something or not. We all get some downtime, and I think that's much needed after the roller coaster year that we just had. I will see you back here on my channel in January. So hit subscribe so you don't miss that next training. Have a great one. Take care. Bye. If this training resonated with you, then join the Career You Love Academy. It's my group coaching monthly membership program that takes unhappy workers who are unfulfilled, exhausted, and dreading their days to finding work they love, where they're finally making more money, more of an impact, while having the time and energy to truly enjoy and love their life. You can join us by going to www.sarahcurto.ca/CYLA. Now that's a Sarah without an H. So it's www.saracurto.ca/CYLA. See you in there.